Hello everyone, welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay, and this is actually a replay I found of myself. Yes, one of the reasons I picked Ketroc rather than Rocket, which is my usual nickname, is that it's more unique name to Google. So I googled myself, Ketroc in Starcraft, and I actually found a replay someone uploaded, so I watched it and it was a pretty good game, so I think I'm actually going to share it. I got this from sc2replayed.com. It's a pretty good site. Not only can you see like replays people have uploaded, but it gives a lot of statistics and build orders and all sorts of stuff on the replay itself. Kind of breaks it down, so it's a nice website for that reason. And my opponent is Frozen Fire. I don't really know anything about him. I haven't looked up his stats or anything, but he seemed like a pretty solid player from what I can tell. And once again, we are spawning cross position. I felt like I've done like a streak of videos where I never did any TvZs. Now recently I've been doing a lot of TvZ videos, so I'm gonna have to drop off that and switch back to some Terran and Protoss games. Unfortunately, Terran games. Maybe I'll put some Terran losses because seriously, I'm having a lot of problems with TvT. I don't have my fast expand build, so it's basically me versus some diamond player with 150 plus APM, and yeah, playing straight up versus someone with no advantage, I don't do well with my 35 to 40 APM. So I have scouted that Zerg is not here, and I scouted that Zerg did not send in his Overlord from 9 o'clock either, so I think I'm pretty safe to put up my fast expand, which is what I'm going to do right now. Pretty good timing on the return of my SCV, just in time to plant the command center. Unfortunately, Zerg Scout shows up right as I planted the command center. It's almost better if he gets in my base and then I plant it, because that way at least for a while, he won't know that I've gone for the fast expand build. He may think I'm doing like some sort of proxy attack with Reapers or something. So I did chase him out though. I had a feeling he was going to go after attacking this guy, so I pulled my SCV off to attack and put my fresh SCV back on. And it looks like Zerg is going for an early Roach Warren. Probably not the best response. If you see, like, this is good versus a typical Terran build, because Roaches are nice at holding off the Reaper harass. However, once you see that I've placed a fast command center, you should be fairly confident that there is no Reapers on the way. So you don't need the Roaches for defense. I suppose you could use them for offense if you want to do like a quick Nidus Worm attack with Roaches, or even try to blast in the front door. Because, you know, if I don't go Fortress here, I guess you could blast in the front door with Roaches. So I guess this replay isn't that old, because it is my new evolution of my build order, where I could do barracks instead of second supply depot. And this frame rate's terrible. Really gotta add a couple more gigs of RAM. I'm gonna pause this replay just for a moment. And I'm back. Alright, so 2 Zerglings is coming in to see what they can, I guess they're more for scouts than harassment, because they only built 2 of them. Often Zerg will dedicate a lot more of their larvae to early Zerglings. Oh, by the way, you'll probably be hearing those dings. Those are MSNs coming into me. Okay, so first Marine's out, I do hold off the early couplings, and I'm just pumping a bunch of Marines at this point. Transferring out my SCVs now that the Zerglings are gone. I think that's the timing I like to do now. Rather than doing it when my command center finishes, I like to do it when my planetary fortress finishes. That way I don't get chased off. And honestly, having SCVs at this base is almost no different than having it at this base early in the game, because neither base is really saturated well. But at this point in the game, it does make a lot more sense to get them split between the bases as they're getting saturated. So I get my first Tech Lad nav, mostly for Stim Pack and 2 more barracks. This is really the point in the game where I just want to be massing up SCVs, Marines, and supply depots. sorry, this guy's gonna be writing me a bunch on MSN. He seems to be having his one-way conversation, so just ignore all those beeps. It's my MSN, not yours. We got a fairly quick layer here from Frozen Fire. And finally getting this expansion down. Go to income, I see I have a solid lead here early in the game. Even a similar harvester count for now. It's actually Eva Killer, my Starcraft 2 partner, is messaging me, and he's saying that the note coming from Blizzard is that about Starcraft cheating, that suspensions are starting soon. And that's actually bad news. I don't want to hear anything about suspensions. I want to hear CD key bans. No tolerance policy, because honestly, that's the best deterrent to cheating. You don't want people to think, okay, I can cheat as long as I don't get... I can cheat as long as I want until I get caught, and then I can't cheat anymore. Because after my first suspension, I'll get banned. You want them to think, if I ever cheat and get caught, I'm going to have to go out and buy the game once more. And honestly, that's a win-win for everyone. Well, except for the cheaters. Blizzard gets more money because it forces them to buy the game more often if they're going to actually attempt this cheating. And it's better for us players because we don't have to face this cheating. Oh, if you haven't learned... okay, there's... Map hack is out right now. There's a hack out that you can make the game not count for ladder. So if you're about to lose, you can just kind of alt-tab out and do whatever they do. And then the game doesn't count as a ladder match. And now there's a new one out where I actually saw this Protoss have... He had 5 warp gates and no robotics bay, no robotics facility. And he was warping in Immortals. Yeah, that's right. Warping in Immortals. So I guess he's building them from his gateways somehow, or his warp gates somehow. So Zerg is throwing down his 3rd expansion, and he's taking a slight harvester lead, but honestly, if you're even closing harvesters, I think that's a major edge for Terran. A, because Zerg's edge is supposed to be economy, and they don't have it, and B, because I have mules, and he doesn't. But with his 3rd base and the high yield, he will slowly start taking a lead at this point, although I think I've had an economic lead up until this point. So his... Muta Harass has been more or less negated. Once again, similar to last game I posted. Yeah, it's a little outnumbered here. That's unfortunate. That's a lot of hurt Mutas with I almost think none of them died there. But like last game, I just did do the spread of missile turrets around my base, and that in combination with charging my Marines over should be able to hold it. One thing I do like to do now is double up this turret, just because it's the weakest point to my base and the furthest away from my Marines, and it's also an entry point to get at these SCVs, which I don't really like them getting at. So it looks like I do have a spotter on the 4th here. I'm not sure at this point whether it's a 3rd or a 4th, because I have not scouted his 3rd expansion. Actually, let me double check. Yeah, I've not scouted this. Although I can assume that he would probably go here before he would go here, so... I would say at this point it's likely that I think he's taking his 3rd and this is his 4th going up, so I really need to push out soon. I'm just putting out my 3rd myself, throwing down a planetary, moving on my SCVs, and I really, one thing I forgot is I should make getting like maybe 2 or 3 air turrets up here a priority. Because this is an important mining base for me and I know there's mutas on the field. And honestly I'm a little bit heavy in marauders, it looks like. I should have some more marines when all I know about is mutas. Let's see what else I've scanned. Roach Warren. Oh, Roach Warren's probably the reason I have the extra marauders. Because marauders are a very strong counter to roaches. Marines can do okay, but roaches generally beat Marines, and marauders generally mop the floor with roaches. Taking out his 2 new creep colonies, that's actually pretty good for me there. Marauders massacre his roaches, however, he's got a lot of broodlords. I mean, a lot. Wow. 8? 9? 9 broodlords, I think? Wow. So unfortunately I was queuing up all my reinforcements out here, so I have to be pulling everything back. Get out of there. And the fourth base I went to set up, I don't know what sort of like micro I was doing. I was clicking around everywhere trying to get everything set up properly, and somehow I ended up sending that command center to the front line. So, yes, we'll call this offensive command center rush. Trying to take building air superiority, we'll say. That's getting taken down pretty fast. But do try to save it unsuccessfully. However, I did kind of pull his Broodlords out to the open field, and just letting my Marauders A move work on the Broodlings. At the same time, I am focus firing with my Marines, and I'm sorry about the frame rate. I keep saying I'm going to get more RAM and see if that helps. I'm actually going to do that now. Might be time for a new video card too. I kind of like my video card, but oh well. Alright, so that's it for the Broodlords. And with a lot of Marauders left in the field, these Roaches are way too late to the party. Poorly balanced attack. You should either pull back and wait for those Marauders, or pull back as soon as you kill the command center. Or just pull back the Broodlords that are getting focused. You can't just kind of sit there and aim it, which is more or less what he did. However, I am against 5 bases now. Well, 4 and a 5th that's ready to be saturated. And he does get a good view on this base.